Oh, yeah. Nerd Ventures. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. Oh, man. Got a juicy one for you today. A lot of crazy Marvel news coming out in the past 24 hours. A lot of it having to do with Loki. We're going to be looking into all of that in just a second here. Also want to just say that we're going to get into some of that DC news that dropped yesterday. There was interesting stuff, not only about that J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, Bruce Timm team-up animated thing that they're going to be doing over there, but also the Injustice thing, the thing that I totally missed. So we're going to get into all of that and more. But first, ladies and gentle beings, I want to jump right in and I want to get into some of this wild Loki stuff. Let's start with this. This is one of the craziest. I mean, I got to be honest. I'm not really sure what to make of this. I'm interested in what you guys think about this. This is pretty freaking wild, okay? This is the official Disney Plus Twitter account. And it says here, where are our Coulson stands at? With 3 question marks, which absolutely means something. And then they actually tag Clark Gregg. They tag the man himself, Clark Gregg. What? Then they hashtag Loki Wednesdays. Loki Wednesdays is the whole big thing, the push that they've been doing to try to get people excited about Loki, to try to get it trending, to try to get it popping. So it's like they are doing everything that they can in this particular post here to be getting you hyped up and to get us talking about Coulson possibly being in Loki. And then Clark Gregg comments, huh? So I guess the question is somebody drunk at the desk of the Disney Plus Twitter account and trolling and clowning in a absolutely weird and not okay way? Or are we actually seeing some next level teasing social media promotion for the Loki series? I don't know. You guys let me know. In fact, let me know in the chat right now, yes or no. Do you think that this means Coulson will be in the show? Because here's the thing. There's a scenario here, and I'm interested. I really do want to know what you guys think, but there's a scenario here that would really kind of bug me out and make me really weirded out, okay? So what if, and I don't think this is the case. I hope this is not the case. But what if this is what if this is the case? Yo, what if they have used sort of digital technology and they've either recreated the scene with Coulson or they're just going to reuse his footage from the movies, right? And they don't even like have him in it. Like Greg's not in it. You know what I mean? Like what if he doesn't have anything to do with it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't necessarily see that as possible, as very likely. But man, wouldn't that be something? If like the social media team, like, brought him in, you know what I mean? In that tweet, tagged him in it, not realizing that like, oh well, guess what? That's not really. That's not really a thing, man. You know what I mean? And oh, man, would that be super juicy. But I see a lot of you guys in chat are saying, yeah, you do think that this indicates that Coulson will be in there. I mean, it would make sense, right? I look, the whole thing for me with this is trying not to get too fanboy excited, not to get too super crazy hyped up about the possibilities of the show. I know we've been down that road before. We've been down that road before. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know it's not a good road for any of us. So, you know, with that in mind, let's get back into the theater and let's talk about friggin' Kang. Now, we talked about this a little bit last night on Darren's Danger Room. You guys should definitely be checking that program out. We went a little early last night because Darren was flying out to Jamaica, but every Wednesday night, usually at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Darren's Danger Room, Miss Darren Wood. Great takes, a lot of fire. But we talked about this a little bit last night, but I wanted to sort of expand on it Here's the story right here from The Ronin. Now, I'm not super familiar with The Ronin, okay? Just gonna be real. However, I'm going to get way too attached to the outcome of this and get way too hyped up about Kang and Jonathan Majors being Kang, not only in this and in Ant-Man 3. Here we go. Back in December, senior entertainment reporter Brandon Katz of The Observer. And by the way, I follow him on Twitter, or a lot of his stuff pops up. We must have mutuals or something, because a lot of his stuff pops up on Twitter, and he seems reasonable. He dropped a juicy rumor on the Post-Cred podcast that Jonathan Majors from Da 5 Bloods and Lovecraft Country, I saw him in Lovecraft Country, who had recently been cast as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, was going to be showing up first in Tom Hiddleston's Loki series in June. Well, the Ronin has recently come across similar information independently of Katz/The Observer, which would bolster his original claim that we'll see Jonathan's MCU introduction in the Disney Plus show before the release of Ant-Man 3. However, the size or scope of the appearance has yet to be determined, but given the character's connection to the Time Variance Agency, it would have plot importance to future MCU projects beyond the Ant-Man sequel set to shoot this summer at Pinewood Studios in the UK. Last month, Cates outlined in a piece for The Observer how Kang would be introduced into Loki. Let's check that out. How Loki might introduce a new version of the fan favorite villain. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get to it. Disney unlikely to Loki Monday. We'll be popping up a Kang icon. Talking about how there's some Kang stuff in the trailers. In certain iterations of the comics, the character was born Nathaniel Richards and is a descendant of the Fantastic Four's Reed Richards. Continuity is always changing, but in one version of his backstory, Nathaniel actually founds the Young Avengers. Yet the most popular and recognizable version of the character is a time-traveling supervillain determined to conquer Earth at different historical intervals. But perhaps the MCU is taking the character in a different direction. Rather than a despot who traverses time in order to destroy and vanquish, it's entirely possible that the MCU version of Kang could be hell-bent on preserving the timeline as the head of the TVA. We protect the proper flow of time, Owen Wilson's Mobius says in the trailer. You picked up the Tesseract, breaking reality. I want your help to fix it. Kang is a logical character. Kang is a logical character extension of Marvel's recent Avengers Endgame and upcoming focus on time, as well as the multiverse. This is true. So this is something we sort of talked about yesterday. And I know many of you guys are a little bit confused about this as well, where it's like, okay, it's Kang, it's time travel. Does this mean that we are going to be just doing time travel here? Does it have something to do with the multiverse and how it's breaking? And I would suggest to you that I think it's all sort of threaded together, and that's sort of predicated on the idea of Kang being the big villain or a big part of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. So let's keep going though. Let's keep reading from this. Typically, you see it in the comics as a cosmic level threat, as the same vein as Thanos, but repositioning him as a less than outright supervillain is more as a morally ambiguous. Okay, so they're talking about the possibility of doing him as an anti-hero. The seeds of the connection have already seemed to be planted. According to Disney, the talented Guba Mothra has been revealed to be playing the character named Judge Renslayer. This is almost certainly Ravonna Renslayer, Kang's love interest from the comics. Yeah, we've actually seen her in the trailers. So I believe this is her. I believe this is the lady. And I think in the comics, she is lover of Kang. And not like a simp, like she's actually his lover. You know what I mean? No offense to the simps out there, but like, yeah, no, she's actually getting some Kang play. You know what I mean? Is what I'm saying. So, interesting. Another Kang connection. Let's keep going. See if there's anything juicy here. As Loki is the epitome of some of characters' redemption the MCU's saga-length narrative building requires, as it appears, the Falcon and Winter Soldier may be performing a similar facelift for Daniel Bruhl's Zemo, keeping the talented up-and-coming actor such as Majors in the fold as a character who straddles the line between good and evil for a multi-project arc. Sounds like good business and potentially good foil for Loki in the same way Zemo works Yeah, okay. All right. All right. So they might anti-hero Kang, according to that article. So let's speculate. Let's talk about this a little bit, okay? So I guess where I'm at with it, man, is like, first of all, Kang better be in this freaking show. And I don't want to be that guy, but there's some evidence here to suggest that just because it's been heavily reported that he'll be in the show, and just because we've got this report here and that he'll be in Ant-Man 3, I believe the Ant-Man 3 thing. I believe it. But we know that Doctor Strange 2 was originally going to tie into WandaVision. You were going to have Doctor Strange in there. And, you know, if you believe the goobly glob that's been out there about why they pulled it, that's fine. But I think that one of the big reasons they pulled it that they're not talking about is the fact that they made massive changes to the Doctor Strange film in general. They made massive changes in shifting around for the MCU in general. And there was no longer the same connective tissue that they originally had planned out to have Doc Strange in there that would lead right into his sequel. So, I guess I still have fear that that could happen with Kang in Loki. And so, even though there are seemingly all kinds of little pieces of evidence and suggestions that we will indeed get Kang the Conqueror in the Loki show, I'm here to tell you, I'm going to curb my expectations. I'm going to do what many of you have asked for the course of all of these shows, and I'm going to curb my expectation. However, I need him to be in it or at least referenced. What I'm saying to you is I'm okay with a small cameo, a name drop, or something. I will be okay with that. Technically, the Sorcerer Supreme, who Trinity thinks is not actually Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme was mentioned, name dropped in WandaVision. It's kind of good enough for me. If they name drop Kang in a similar way, either version, all different versions, whatever, good enough for me. But having said that, you know, let's keep the bar low. Let me also be completely honest about something. It would blow me away. It would absolutely blow me away if Kang was more involved in the show than that. If we got more than just little teases, his lover and all these little Easter egg things, you know what I mean? If we got something pithy with Kang, I'm talking either a tease during the show where he literally comes out in full-ass Kang gear, like full-ass Immortus-looking badass gear, ready to fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I at least want to see that, and then my mind will be blown. Or you do a post-credit scene with that. Here's the deal. Let's now talk about Ant-Man 3. We haven't talked about Quantum Mania in a while. In fact, before it was called Quantum Mania, and when it was just Ant-Man 3, there was a lot of sort of leaks and rumors about how goddamn ridiculous this movie's going to be. Like, Star Wars level movie. Like, massive battles. Huge scope. Cosmic in scale. Cosmic in scale. Okay? Yo. Are we about to see, like, imagine sort of similar stuff to when Thanos attacked Earth, okay? When Thanos attacked Earth. But instead of him just attacking Earth, he's attacking the Avengers and different characters and trying to wipe them out throughout time. And taking, you know, what happened in Endgame and taking that to the next level via the quantum realm and doing stuff like that. I mean, that would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty crazy. Now, look, I know. Some of you guys are like, whoa, you're doing it again. You're getting too hyped. You're getting too fanboy hyped. You're doing it again. The nerd veins are popping. You know what I mean? Ooh, the nerdy blood is flowing. Ooh, just wait from 6 to midnight. I'm getting a little excited over here. Let's throw a little bit more on it. Let's throw a little bit more nerdy shit on it. Salt Bay on it, that ass. Do it for me. Listen, we haven't even talked about the possibility of DOS Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four? So you're telling me Quantumania might be a Star Wars level, wild-ass, cosmic, time-travel, crazy movie of grand scale and proportions. And you also might introduce the friggin' Fantastic Four, and maybe they tie them to Kang, and that's the whole dealy. That's the whole dealy-dally. First of all, what... Let me ask you something. Let me ask you guys something. This is a serious question. This is a serious question. So everybody shut your mouths and answer this question. What do all of these movies have in common? And let me name the movies for you. What do all of these films have in common right now? Quantumania, Doctor Strange 2, and Spider-Man 3. What do they all have in common? What do they all have in common? Time, multiverse, strange, multiverse. Yeah. White males. Okay, yeah. So, they're all DC. Oh, jeez. Bad acting? Oh, my God. All right, stop. I've had enough. Put your hands down. I don't want to hear from the class anymore. Okay, listen. What do they have in common? They all are sequels to prior movies in the MCU that seem like they're going to be so fucking crazy that they might as well be just event movies and not really sequels. This is actually, I think, the future of the MCU. I think the future of these movies is going to be that every single one of them is a ridiculous, crazy-ass movie that does all sorts of ridiculous stuff. And again, going back to that prior rumor around 2019 where Marvel talked about, a lot of the scoopers and insiders talked about, you have this cosmic level threat. You have a cosmic villain and a cosmic threat going on, and then you have an earthbound threat. You have something going on just down on the ground, and this seems to be connected to Norman Osborn, perhaps Thunderbolts, perhaps even Secret Invasion maybe sort of bridges that gap. You've got like Armor Wars and Moon Knight, which seem more grounded and will deal with grounded stuff. And then, you've got Loki and, potentially the Secret Invasion show, which, again, might bridge the gap, but will probably start cosmic and crazy. You've got movies like Ragnarok, which we think are going to be dealing out there in the cosmic side of things with crazy ridiculousness. But then you got a movie like Wakanda Forever, which, although we know very little about it, seems to be dealing with the world, grounded, either maybe Namor, Doom, some of the political machinations, Wakanda's place in all that, being sort of an international film and being connected to earthbound, as it were, right? So, I don't know. A lot of this stuff seems to track for me, and it seems really cool. I guess what really comes down to for me is, like, can we get going already? Like, can we get going already? Because these last two shows, I've sort of felt dumb, honestly, covering them in some ways, because it's like, oh, here's all this cool stuff. Here's all the things we think are coming, and here's how we think the shows will connect to them. And it's almost like every little connection that we tried to, latch onto, Feige was like, nope, not yet. Nope. You'll get it when I say you'll get it, and you'll like it. You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from Feige. So, I kind of need the show to deliver, to pull us in to that dope shit, man. That's what I need. That's what I want. That's what I expect. So, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any similar feelings about that or not, but I wanted to sort of just talk about it again. Again, I know we talked about it last night. Darren had her takes on it. I had some feelings then. But I wanted to kind of clarify a little bit of where I was at with that. You know what I mean? Clarify where I was at. Talk about the speculation. I mean, the Coulson thing's wild. Definitely makes sense that he's in there, and perhaps a way to bring him back. Dare I say it? Dare I say it? Bring Coulson back? Oh, my God. All the Agents of freaking S.H.I.E.L.D. fans. Going to drive me crazy with this, man. I want to now talk about something pretty wild that happened yesterday, and then we'll get into Q&A, okay? All right, I'm going to kill the music for a second here. Ah! All right, so we're also going to test something while I'm doing this, guys. So I apologize if the stream or whatever gets really weird. I'm hoping that it's all good. Let me see something here. Okay. Okay, now let us now get into something crazy that happened yesterday. Look, on the Nerdy News Rundown yesterday, we talked about the DC animated project with Bruce Timm, with J.J. Abrams, with Matt Reeves, and all those guys getting connected together. And I thought that would be the big story. After I recorded it, I literally looked on Twitter and realized that no, just a small little thing that was hidden within the press release yesterday, it was the thing that blew up. Literally 55,000 tweets about DC animated Injustice movie. Mind-blowing. Something that really blew up fast. And I think it just shows that DC is like, they're just in a weird place because I'm sure they didn't expect the smallest little hidden part of their press release to be blowing up in the way that they did. On Twitter, the J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, Bruce Timm announcement didn't do shit. You know what I mean? It didn't do shit on Twitter. So strange times that we're living in. Very interesting. But nonetheless, this is hype, dude. And I want to sort of talk about it. We're here on comicbook.com. It says DC announces Injustice animated movie. One of DC's most popular Elseworld tales is officially getting the film treatment. On Wednesday, Warner Bros. Home Entertainment confirmed that an Injustice animated movie will be the next title in the studio's slate of animated films, spinning out of the popular video game and comic series of the same name. An advanced sneak peek of the film will be available as part of the upcoming home release of Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. No other details surrounding the project, including a voice cast or release date, are available at this time. The notion of an Injustice animated film is sure to fuel speculation on multiple levels, especially given the amount of source material that the franchise already has to draw from. There's a chance that the film could be an adaptation of the narrative of the first game or of Tom Taylor's tie-in Injustice comic series that ran for multiple years. The comic dealt with some previously unseen corners of the franchise's timeline, most recently including Injustice Year Zero, which provided a short prequel look at some of the characters. Okay, so let's wait, here's something that Boone said. I wish we could talk more about it at the moment, but I have something to announce, but I appreciate the desire to see it. Ooh, girl. Something to do with possibly an Injustice 3 happening at Fandom later this year and being announced. That, of course, would be really, really cool. Now, let me talk about why this is so dope, why I think this blew up the way that it did. The Injustice video game, it's interesting. That video game absolutely blew up. It was made by NetherRealm Studios, I believe, and they first did a Mortal Kombat DC crossover fighting game, which people absolutely raved about and loved. They next got the chance to actually create their own story, and with that license, they created the Injustice game. Guys, if you've ever played Injustice 1 or Injustice 2, you know that first game, amazing story, a lot of care given to the different DC characters. It's Elseworld. It's crazy. But man, was it dope. It really was really cool. I enjoy the second game a lot. I actually think the mechanics in that game still hold up today. It's an incredible fighting game. But, beyond that, something very dope happened with Tom Taylor and the Injustice comic books, which were first designed to be supplemental promotional material for the games, and ended up becoming some of the best-selling DC comics, period, and launching Tom Taylor into the stratosphere of comic book writers out there working in mainstream books. It was fucking awesome to watch, frankly. And I'm really glad that Tom, blew up the way that he did and did all that work. Now, here's the deal. When it comes to the Injustice animated game, I think people will just be on face value excited. But of course, I got to take it to that next nerdy level and talk about the things that I think would push this project over the top. Number one, if they got Zack Snyder involved in some way. I know. It doesn't make sense. I know people would be like, there's no way Warner Bros. Wants to do that, et cetera, et cetera. Zack had said recently that he had pitched the idea of continuing his story with his DC characters, his Superman, his Batman, his Wonder Woman, continuing that story in a comic book form. He wanted to do it in comic book form. I think even back in the day, a couple of months ago, Zack realized that the likelihood of him getting a massive budget to continue this in live action probably not going to happen. Well, apparently Jim Lee said no to the comic book idea, but what if they did it in an animated way and they brought back some of these actors to at least voice these characters, and we got to see a version of Zack Snyder's Justice League going with an Injustice repaint, a new story of Injustice, really letting him go crazy in that tale? That would be awesome. I think it's pretty safe to say that even some of the stuff that Zack put into the nightmare sequences and the aspects of his universe of DC characters was certainly at least like he didn't adapt it directly from Injustice, but he was at least inspired by it. You know what I mean? So that would be number one. That would be super freaking cool to see. The other thing that I think they could do that would really make this absolutely fantastic would be to show a new Injustice universe and perhaps have this animated movie directly tie into sort of the new Injustice thing that would go into Injustice 3, okay? So basically in Injustice 2, there's another evil Superman, right? It's like another evil Superman that they got to stop, and they got to get the original Superman from our universe that turned heel to come help fight against this other Superman. It's very Crisis or something like that. So if they did something like that, with a new universe, set up a movie that explained all of this, had it happen congruently with the video game. That's that kind of stuff that I really like in multimedia, where they tie things together nicely for the fans, allow people to get really excited and pumped about it. That would be really, really cool. And just in general, even if they didn't do any of that super hype stuff, it's still freaking awesome that we're going to get this incredible team over at DC Animated Studios, because really the whole team over there, under the tutelage of Bruce Timm, has done incredible work. If you've watched any of the DC animated projects over the last 5 years, you know what I'm talking about. It's high caliber stuff. Unlike, unfortunately, where most of their live action stuff lands, the animated stuff has been very, very strong. So regardless of whether or not they push it through the nerdy roof and do some of the cool things that I would love, I think this is going to be incredible. And I think fans are going to be really freaking excited to be checking out Injustice, the DC animated project. But I want to know what all of you guys think last night. I just saw him talking in the chat. I want to know what y'all think about what is going on with this DC animated project, if you have some opinions about it. And also, of course, we'll get into talking in Q&A about Loki. So what do you guys think? Are you excited? Are you pumped? Can't wait for the Long Halloween. I haven't actually watched the Long Halloween Part 1, but I tell you this. I sat down because Elisa's DC knowledge is pretty lacking, and her DC stuff is lacking. So last night, Elisa and I watched Part 1 of the Dark Knight Returns animated film. Holy shit. You forget how good those movies are, man. You forget how good those movies are. And she's getting an edumacation when it comes to DC. That's for dang sure. That's for dang sure, I tell you. So, I do want to remind everybody as well, we should be doing a test tonight of the evening streams. I believe Mr. Al Schuler is going to be running the stream tonight, but make sure you double check, and try to stay attached to either our Twitter or our Discord for updates about that. But I believe that Al Schuler will be running a evening stream tonight. And either way, we're going to be doing evening streams publicly very, very soon. I've been very happy with the progress over on the evening streams. So let us get in to some super chats, and then I'll check out what's going on in the chat as well. Sorry, give me 1 second here, guys. Just trying to pull this up because YouTube is still wiggity whack. Wiggity whack. Don't come back. Something, something, something. And a something, something, something. Okay, let's see here. So, first chat of the day is from Elisa Scott. Says, okay, so this actually does make a lot of sense, but my big question is, will they canonize Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by bringing him in? Or maybe just an alternate timeline Coulson shows up, which could be pretty rad. Yeah, so I think this could be used by Feige to really solidify that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like didn't happen in his timeline, you know what I mean? So it could be a way for him to just be like, nah, man, that wasn't us. This Coulson, though, the one you met in all the other movies, yeah, now we're going to bring him back. Because it's in the same way, if you think about it, we have the Loki from Avengers back. We have Avengers Loki back. Why wouldn't we get Avengers Coulson back? And tell me that's not an awkward conversation. You know what I mean? Like, man, that would be pretty funny. Appreciate the support. James R. with a $2 holler says, finished my psychology degree today. Love y'all. Dude, that's fantastic, man. Fantastic. Round of applause for James. Incredible. Just finishing a degree in general, very difficult. Very few people on the planet actually do it. But you finished the psychology degree. I love that psychology, man. Very cool stuff. Jedi mind tricks. Helping people out. Or taking over the planet. Psychology is really cool. I'm very happy for you, James. Congratulations, man. Jacob S. with a $2 holla says, Kang in the MCU, descendant of Ironheart. Dude, that could make sense, right? That could make sense. But I don't know. I mean, it's been so long generationally that, like, him being black doesn't affect... I don't think it means much of a difference, especially if it's, like, thousands of years into the future. Timelines, bloodlines, all sorts of things could have happened and changed. But I don't hate that. You know what I mean? I don't hate that. I don't know. I definitely see where your head is at, Jacob. But, yeah, we'll see how they do it. Austin Tweedy with a $5 holler says, does the fandom officially give up when Tobey and Andrew isn't in Spider-Man 3? I will tell you this. If Tobey and Andrew are not, if both of them are not in the film, because if one of them's not in the film, I'll be like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't pull that, whatever. But if both of them are not in the film and there's no Spider-Verse stuff whatsoever in the movie, I'm personally going to be, I'm going to have to rethink my life. It's like the scene in the prequels where Obi-Wan's like, you don't want to sell me death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. It's going to be like, you don't want to make Marvel speculation videos. You want to go home and rethink your life. That's what it's going to be like for me. So hopefully we don't have to cross that bridge even when we come to it. 34 Virgo, the $2 says, Josh, LOL, are you to blow your top? You are about to blow your top, but I want it also. Yes, 34 Virgo, I want it. I want all the juice, baby. Why settle for mediocrity? Nerdy content is good, but it can be better. You know what I mean? That's really what it's about. Shiloh with a $5 holla says, I'll be real. Paul Rudd is my MCU dark horse. If Fantastic Four gets gets at least a major tease in Ant-Man 3, I'll be hyped. P.S. Take my only nerds money. Thank you so much, Shiloh. Appreciate the love and the support, my friend. Paul Rudd is dope. Definitely underutilized in the MCU, although technically he saves the whole universe. You know what I mean? Or at least our timeline universe. Very, very interesting that he might get more and more work moving forward, which I think would be great. And I do think the connection to him and Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four could be really, really fun. We got some really fun characters. We want these characters to play with the new characters that are coming in. It should all be real, real fun. You know what I mean? Trev with a $5 holla says, Boys and Invincible being successful forces... being successful forces DC to do injustice. I think that's a pretty good point. You know, I find it kind of crazy that they hadn't done that before in their animated, but they kind of already did. You and I both saw the Justice League Dark Apocalypse Wars, She was sick, dude. And even that, in some ways, is adapted a little. It's not adapted, but at least inspired by some of the darkness that's in Injustice. But you're right. I mean, The Boys showing that off really does indicate to DC that there's a huge market for it. Invincible, particularly because it's animated, probably definitely shows them that there's a market for it. I'll tell you this. They should know now, after it trended yesterday and it blew up the way that it did. Holy mother of goodness. Yeah. Shiloh says, with a $5 holler again, I better see home heads rolling and hearts being ripped out in Injustice. Yeah, it's got to be bloody. It's got to be bloody. It's got to be crazy. It's got to be brutal. It's got to be savage. It's got to be Injustice. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And I think it's going to be dope. Yeah, they should do it. Blurred Jaherd Network, very, very cool name, with a $10 hello says, can we get going already? I felt that. Love the channel. I'm an up-and-coming blogger trying to get like you. Would appreciate a shout-out, big homie. I got some pretty decent content. Well, Blurred Jaherd, we will definitely be checking your stuff out. We're going to try to do a thing where we have creator spotlights on the channel, and we even have some things where we just watch other people's vids for sure. So we're working on that. I can't do it today, man, but appreciate the support. And I will tell everybody, go check out Blurred Jaherd Network. Check them out. Type it into the YouTubes and check it out. Lord Vito with a $5 holler says, just to boost Trev's already inflated ego, I didn't like Invincible at first, but once it turned into DBZ, it was amazing. Yes, Trev, you were right. Damn, Vito, no! No more inflating Trev's ego. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. You understand? But appreciate the support. Mr. Anderson says with the $10, do supers no longer generate Nerdcoin? I didn't see a change to my balance after that $100 super chat last night. Yeah, we've had this problem before, Mr. Anderson, and we're going to get someone to actually account and get the numbers sorted out so that everybody gets appropriate Nerdcoin for it. For now, it's just going to have to be a thing where you kind of just send us an email or a message about it, and we'll try to get it handled on a case-by-case basis. I think, too, Streamlabs, the cloud bot yesterday was wiggity whack. It wasn't even working for most of the day, and I think it only started working during Darren's Danger Room in, like, the middle of the show or something. So, I don't know. It could be that. Maybe it takes a day or longer for that to get into your account. I don't know. Did the $10 you just sent, did that send any? Did that make a difference in the Nerdcoin? You tell me. Let me know, and you can send it to me on Discord too. But yeah, let me know. Did the 10 you just sent, did that change it? Brian Klein with a $2 house says, Hi, Theory, Kang is Mephisto. Loki show will be dope. Yeah, man. What if Kang is Mephisto? Well, as Owen Wilson would say. Wow. James, you with a $5 house says, Feige probably pulled the Doctor Strange stuff in WandaVision to put it in Doctor Strange 2. I think you're right. I think that's a big part of it. I think that's something that, for whatever reason, he doesn't want to admit. But yeah, totally, dude. Totally. There's stuff pulled out that's just going to go in Doctor Strange or in other projects now. Because I think with Wanda, especially because regardless of how it ended, WandaVision was a hit for them. It won awards for that shitty-ass CGI floating in the air fight that they did. Like, it's an award-winning, groundbreaking show in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I think it probably solidified that they're going to do more, hopefully, with both of those characters, Wanda and Vision and Doctor Strange as well. And hopefully we see some of that in Doctor Strange 2 and in further projects. Thank you, James. Appreciate the support. Darth Dever says, if we get boner with Kang, that's it. We rage. Dude, I'm telling you right now, if Loki isn't up to par, I'm going to try to keep it together. I'm going to try to really, look, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I really want to say, but I can't say it. So I would never actually say this, but fuck it, I'm going to say it. I need Loki to be pretty fire from the start because I don't want to spend the whole show. Like, this was part of the issue with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Was the whole show, I was kind of like this. I was like, yeah, that's all right, but where's the fucking juice, though? Yeah, okay, this is cool. Oh, that's pretty dope, but where's the fucking juice? I don't want to be like that with Loki. Give me the juice right away. Make me feel excited right away. Then I can get into it, and we can have an enjoyable experience here with the channel and the community as we watch Loki. Because if that first episode is even slightly shaky, I'm going to be like this. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just really hoping that that it's good. Big Steve with the $5 hello says, after such a strong reaction on Twitter, would Warner Brothers actually make Injustice live action? I don't know about that, but I would hope that they at least took notice of it. You know what I mean? And they were like, yo, that is pretty fucking wild. People must really like this shit. Machine Gun Carter with the $2 holla says, Nerd Vengers, you guys rock. Hit me in the Discord with a heart emoji. Yeah, man. Get on that Discord. We're going to be doing more of those stage things on Discord as well. Been having a lot of fun doing that stuff. So, yeah, lots of good stuff happening for the channel, for the brand, for the Nerd Vengers. It's pretty chill. But why can't I not pop out the chat today? What the hell? Where's the chat? Why can't I see the chat? How come I can't see the chat? I don't understand. Okay, there it is. Let's see here. Eric Gaines says, we are going to get an amazing show with Loki or Riot. Yeah, I agree. Look, I think the show's going to be fan-freaking-tastic. You know what I mean? I think, Josh, you might be like that. I hate to say it. Something tells me nothing is going to really happen until the movies, but I'll love to be oh so wrong. Man, RG, I really hope... I mean, I feel where you're at with that, and I just hope that that's not the case. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just ultimately hope that we get into Loki and that it's pretty great right away, and that we can get back to speculating and having all that kind of fun. You know what I mean? So. Oh, it left when you woke up the stage? Did I enjoy Bad Batch so far? I do. I enjoy Bad Batch. We are going to be doing a watch party for Bad Batch later tonight. You'll have After Dark later tonight. Hopefully a test stream for the evening stream run by Al Schuler. And then we're going to be getting into After Dark. Omega. Yeah. And then late at night, early in the morning, depending on how you look at it, I will be at least doing a watch party for the Nerd Vengers for Bad Batch. We'll be watching the Bad Batch episode together, talking about it a little bit behind the scenes, and I'll probably just go back to sleep and then do another morning stream tomorrow. Don't expect anything mind-blowing on these shows. They're like holiday specials. They're not really contributing to the MCU. Fuck! I hope you're wrong. I guess what I'm saying is a lot of you guys are... Okay, let's talk about this. Let's get into the living room, and let's talk about this as a family. I see what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. You know? You're like, Josh, again, how many times is it going to take? When will you learn? When will you learn? You know what I mean? And I just got to tell you, I got to hold out hope that there's something incredible coming. You know what I mean? That there's something incredible coming. I'm like the kid in the friggin'... What the hell's the show? Invincibles. Incredibles. The Incredibles. I'm like the kid out there that's like, you know, and Mr. Incredible's like, what are you waiting for, kid? It's like, I don't know, something amazing, I guess. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Mike says I missed one of his super chats. Hang on, let's go back in here and see. Did I miss Mike's super chat? Oh, I do. I see it. Haha. I see it, Mike. The Coulson thing was for hashtag Loki Wednesday. They showed the first Avengers movie, unrelated to the Loki show. Sorry, guys. Yo. Interesting. Mike is probably right. The Coulson thing was for Loki Wednesdays. They showed the first Avengers movie, unrelated to the Loki show. Sorry, guys. Well, that's dumb for them to do, in my opinion. But it does make sense, and it makes sense as to why Coulson would say that. I wonder if Greg Clark actually made some calls or whatever yesterday. That's kind of funny, Mike. And you're probably right. You're probably 100% right there, man. Apar says, super random. Why do we hate Brie Larson? Is it because her acting in Captain Marvel or something else? Take my money. Dude, I definitely don't hate Brie Larson. I think people get it mixed up. I know this is such a hard thing for people to understand, but I definitely don't hate Brie Larson. I just don't want her near any big projects because what she brings to the table is incredible acting and a whole bunch of social media baggage. Do we not understand that most of our lives are taking place on the internet? Do we not understand that most of our communication is happening in forums or social media platforms? Do you not understand that? Because that's what it is. That's the welcome to the world. That's what we do now. That's how we live. Brie Larson, whether or not it's her fault, and I think at least partially it is, because not only did she make some boneheaded comments, but then continue to sort of try to be trolly in the way she interacts with people online. I get it. It's cool. Do you, boo. But I don't want any of that shit with my nerdy stuff. It's the same reason I don't want Ryan Johnson involved with things. It's frankly the same reason that I think it's just, it has nothing to do with her. It has to do with the brand that she has created. It's like Rocky said in Rocky #1. They don't remember you. They remember the rep. I'm not talking about Brie. I'm talking about the rep. You understand? Do you understand? I'm not bald. I shaved my head. Do you understand? But Apar, I do appreciate the super chat. Thank you. What actor does not troll? Says the Den of Nerds Live. Everyone but Brie Larson. Yeah, I don't hate her. I just don't want to see her face, have her name mentioned, and have anyone that even looks like her or any names that even sound like her to be associated with anything I ever have to deal with ever again. So it's not that deep, guys. You know what I mean? It's not that deep. So how is Gina any different with her social media baggage? Well, I will say this. My stance on Gina sort of flipped over time. And the more she did just poke the bear, the more I evenly said, I was like, man, this is not a good look. This is not a good look, and it is going to bring baggage in. So it's, in that sense, it is similar. It is similar. No, see, I don't agree with Justin. Justin says because Gina wouldn't be fake and listen to the PR rep. I mean, I agree that that is a significant difference, but that's not in any way like a winning, like super cool. I think that was stupid of her to do, actually. Look, if you want to be a social activist, go be a social activist. If you want to be an actor, be an actor. And you have to understand that what you do and say on social media, like to me, it's not a freedom of speech issue. You can be free with your speech wherever the fuck you want. If you're getting Disney money, you gotta play Disney ball. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. Brie is a social activist. I'm telling you, Gina was doing the same thing. Gina was very much being a social activist. Very much. Just from a different perspective. So in that sense, it is very similar. Being an activist is par for the course for athletes and actors these days. It's ridiculous. So I don't think it's ridiculous. I think that it's fair, but I think that companies just work in dollars and cents. That's just what it is. And I think in some ways, companies are still trying to figure out what is the balance. How do we, handle this and stop creating things? Number one, here's something that I think is interesting about Disney in particular. I think if Disney itself had a stronger brand, and I don't mean like in the oh, I like fucking Mickey Mouse and shit. No, it's like, when I say the word Disney, do you guys get a family, good loving, wholesome vibe? I don't think you do. You know what I mean? Like the brand of Disney itself isn't even really strong enough to make a lot of these little instances go away. So as a way of, for instance, if Disney didn't have all of the crazy baggage and some of the bad things that are associated with their brand, and a lot of the negative PR that they have had. Let's say Disney was like this. Let's say Disney was the company they want you to think they are. Okay, let's consider for a moment that we lived in a world where Disney was that clean company that never got their hands dirty, that always did everything right, that only cared about creative, inclusion and all these different aspects of whatever. If they were that company, and then people kind of got out of line and said some outlandish shit or said stuff that was political, Disney would be able to sort of differentiate between their brand and stance and what the people said and did. And I actually think it would clarify a lot of these situations, make it better for all parties involved. But because even Disney does not have any sort of moral monopoly or moral authority when it comes to these particular issues, it ends up just looking really wiggity whack whenever they come out and try to police speech from their own people, or et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that makes perfect sense to you guys. But it's like, it's not fully Gina's fault. It's not fully Brie's fault, because Disney, I think, left both of them out to dry in a lot of different respects. Because when Brie was getting, and make no mistake about it, like, I think Brie is annoying, but like the amount of clickbait trash videos that were made about Brie Larson is absurd. It is absolutely absurd. And Marvel never really publicly got her back or ever really tried to address that issue or what was going on. They acted like it didn't happen, and then they were just so shaky and wishy-washy in their own PR that you just look through all of it and you're just like, it's just a bunch of idiots trying to say the right thing so they don't get canceled, they continue to get money. That's not a good look. You know what I mean? It's a similar thing with Gina. Like, I think ultimately, if Disney had a firm brand and a firm PR relationship with the people that were, customers and also potential customers, then they would have been able to say, here's this one isolated incident of a person that is saying and doing these things. We don't fully agree with this thing, but we understand that this is a strange time where people are allowed to give their separate opinions, but here is our stance as a company. Because they don't have this bedrock thing, all the other things hurt them way more. You know what I mean? So it's not even necessarily all the people's fault. In a lot of ways, I think it's the corporation's fault. But, yeah. Leave Brie alone. Yeah. I'm not making videos about Brie. I only brought Brie up because y'all keep bringing Brie up. You know what I mean? Saying it one more time. Gina, Pablo, Freddie Prinze Jr., Pedro, Chuck Wendig. Lucasfilm needs an across-the-board social media policy, period. I agree with you. I agree with Nikki. I think you need a policy for these people. I think it needs to be more reasonable. That's kind of what I just said. If they had one anchored policy, a lot of these other little things wouldn't affect them as much. You know what I mean? And they would be more clear in the way they're handling it. So. Yeah, Sepatillion, man. Congratulations on getting preemptively banned forever, you fucking idiot. Good job. Good job, buddy. I feel like they're not going to give any crazy away with the Disney Plus series. Disney needs to rely on the average movie viewers to follow the movies or create confusion. I'm interested in that balancing act, man. Because, again, I'd like to believe that the original intention of both shows, whether that was Falcon and the Winter Soldier or WandaVision, the original intention was to have them much more connected to the movies. We know that Florence Pugh was supposed to be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They removed that. That film was supposed to tie to Black Widow. They removed Doctor Strange. That film was supposed to tie into Doctor Strange. They removed a lot of stuff. I think the Pandy played a role. I think the changing of the schedule was supposed to play a role. So, yeah, it's really interesting. I hope that Loki still has that kind of connective tissue and continues to be there. And I think that that's kind of what we're all waiting for, is like, oh shit, like, should we just curb our expectations and be like, all right, like, they're not really going to be on the same level of the movies? Or like, were these two projects in particular, the first two out the gate, were they victims of circumstance? I think that's kind of the more interesting question, you know? Brie, Gina, whatever. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Yes, indeed. What about that attack? What about it? Is that what you're telling yourself at night, Josh? It absolutely is. When it got lonely at night, I started to think, like, holy shit, what if I way overhyped all the Marvel shows and predicated my whole existence on the fact that these Marvel shows are going to be so dope, and we got all this stuff set up for these Marvel shows to be so dope, and now it's just going to be me doing watch parties getting disappointed. That's not going to last. People aren't just going to stick around for me being super grumpy and not being excited about these fucking Marvel shows. I mean, maybe we could turn the channel into Josh the Grouch. Josh the Marvel Disney Plus show Grouch. And I just sit there and I watch the Marvel shows and I'm like, this is fucking trash, just like all the other ones. Trash, trash, trash. Ah, this fucking trash shit. Trashity, trash, trash, trash. 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 Thanks a lot, Raul. Isn't that what my job is? A little bit, Ryan. A little bit. Have some tobacco, Josh. Josh, stop listening to the haters. Yeah, no, they are what they are. Also, me personally, I'm not triggered. It's just really obvious that some people were and had arguably very legitimate reasons to be. Yeah. I'm here for that, Josh. I bet you are, Trev. What it do, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up? Josh, I really think you need to dedicate one stream a month or so to straight fanboy dreaming and conspiracy theories. Just unload. Maybe you're right, man. Maybe you're right. Oh, dude, I think you found a new character. Would love the Grumpy Josh segment here and there. Hey, maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe we can lean into it. Like, after a show, right, we could do a thing where it's like, okay, so this is what the Council of Joshes. Ooh, in the multiverse. Dude, Council of Joshes. We have, like, you know, middle of the road Josh. You know, fence sitting Josh. Then we have grumpy Josh. And then we have annoyingly positive Josh. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, I mean, the cameras were on when they shot the show. That's something, right? You know? Be kind of fantastic. Overhyping Josh. All three of them overhype. Annoyingly positive Josh always puts me in a good mood. Right on. So what's up with this BDSM Riddler? I know, right, Veed? What the fuck? Feige lover Josh? All of them are going to be Feige lovers. Green screen with me arguing. We could probably figure that out fairly simple. What if I did a variety show with just me? Yeah, that'd be fun. Dr. Doom versus Batman? Dude, it's Doom all day. But Batman would probably win, though. I see through the lies of the Disney. I don't feel the dark side as you do. Well done. Well said. Well said. Streamlab hates you. Wait, let me see here. Did it not give you the 10? I can't see if you answered that or not. Oh, because he's gambling. Oh, I see. He's gambling. All right. All right. Gambling away, huh? I so want Doom and Secret Wars. Me too, man. Like the Pixar deal with the emotions. What was it called? Yeah, the one where they have all the different personalities. I forget what it was called. They didn't give it to you for the 10? Yikes. These fucking things. So, why is all this technology so unreliable? You know, you do a cool thing, Inside Out. Inside Out? Yeah. So you do a cool thing. You know, you try to have fun. You try to set up some fun things for your freaking community and shit. And then the technology just lets you down, you know? What about Noir Josh? That's kind of interesting. Riddler, I would laugh if he killed me. Yeah, if that Riddler came at me, dude, I'd be like, riddle me this. How are you going to survive this ass kicking? And then I would just beat the shit out of that Riddler. So hyped for Midnight Suns? Me too. Sometimes it's not automatic. Sometimes it takes a while. Yeah, I agree. I think that's true. I think that's true. I think Streamlabs might take a second. So double check, man. Double check, Mr. Anderson. It could pop in by the end of the day. Black and white Josh smoking a tobacco cigarette. Sure, I'd watch that. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. Yeah, we've been having, I really do think that the sort of behind-the-scenes discussion, which, by the way, if y'all really want to fucking argue about Brie and fucking Gina all day, which most of you do want to, like, that's the thing. Like, you guys, fight the urge. You understand? Like, it's really just an addiction. You have an addiction to the controversy. You know what I mean? Like, you've made this attachment to these outcomes of these people. It's like a character in a movie or some shit. You know what I mean? Both of those people, Gina and Brie, are both gonna be totally fine. And I think both of them are gonna live lives of luxury and frankly privilege. Both of them privileged. You know what I mean? Not dealing with a lot of the same problems you are dealing with, no matter where you stand on the aisle. I think that's one of the things that are most ironic for me, is that, like, most of you all that fucking hate each other and feels differently about these weird, stupid issues, most of you all are way more alike each other than you are any of these people that you put on a pedestal. Any of these people that you have an attachment to their careers, outcomes, blah, 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 etc. You're way more alike your brother and sister that's also struggling, that's also being marginalized. You're way more like that person on the other aisle, the other side of the aisle, than you are any of these people that you guys are getting triggered about, in my opinion. It's crazy to me. I think you should cosplay as Omni-Man. Just shave, but keep the mustache. I've done it before. I love just having the mustache like that before. So Feige apologized for whitewashing The Chosen One when really it was because China may not have let it fly, and if they stuck to the source material. Yeah, John. So that's a very interesting thing. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I just think it's so weird that Feige would come out and apologize for that. On the one hand, it's like, okay, that's cool, man. You know, you're learning from your mistakes. Honestly, dope. But it's like a weird thing to say when you're promoting a movie that seemingly is still reductive in a way that, while not maybe racist, is still that sort of like weird, frankly, white people shit. You know what I mean? It's just what it is to me. It just still feels a little bit weird. It still feels a little bit like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. And it still feels like you want China to love the movie. It feels like you're coming out directly and saying, like, almost everything you need to say to the North American audience and then everything you need to say to the Chinese audience. You want both. The truth is, it's painful for me that the Tibetan aspect of that character will likely never get brought up in a conversation to Feige or anybody, because it's probably the fact that, yes, they did change the Ancient One because he was a Tibetan monk, and that was the priority of changing that above everything else. Speculation. We don't know. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's way more likely than some of the other shit that's being sort of shoveled our way. A Par says, how much nerd coin for you to have a mustache only? I don't know if that's going to be on the table. You know what I mean? I do not know if that's going to be on the table. But. Dude, Prince Zodiac, that would be great. Prince Zodiac says, he just needs to announce, you guys need to see this movie 2 or 3 times so we don't need China. Dude, exactly. But they're unable to do that. They're unable to say, like, for real. Like, if they get banned in China, and first of all, I would hope, I understand from a business perspective them wanting to get into China. So, look, if they're going to do some shit to try to get into China, that's fine. But if it's a hard no, if China's like, no, fuck that. You know what it really is? Here's the other thing that sucks about this, is that there are still 8 other Marvel movies slated out to come into China. And if Feige, like, legit goes hard and says, nah, fuck China for this, then China might be like, well, fuck all 8 of your other movies then. Do you know what I mean? So there's still a lot that hangs in the balance, but I would just hope that, I mean, frankly, I don't feel comfortable with it as a fan. I don't like the position that I feel like Disney is making me sort of sit in as a consumer. It doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Jennifer Coyne says, Josh doesn't shave for the chat. No, I mean, I barely shave at all, and when I do, I hack apart this beard and mustache anyways. I don't know if you've noticed, it's always misshapen and all over the place. Forehead face F, woke up late. Time to run it back. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one today. Josh should cosplay as the death stick dealer in Attack of the Clones. I would totally do that, man. I would totally do that. Did you know YouTube can strike deleted content? Yeah, I've been seeing some of that going on. I mean, dude, YouTube is, I don't know what to say, dude. YouTube is a whack-ass company. It seems like there's a lot of whack stuff happening with the algo, with the way they're trying to censor people and do weird stuff. It's weird, dude. I don't know what else. I don't know what to say. Like, it's something we deal with every day. It's something we think about every day. We've had difficult situations with YouTube before in the past. I still can't see the fucking super chats the way I used to be able to see them in the streaming studio. You know, the new hot shit that YouTube put together that's supposed to be the answer to all of our fucking problems. Yeah, man, I've got some problems with YouTube. You understand? I got a few problems with them. But it's also an incredible platform that gives us the ability to reach folks like you. None of you would be here if it wasn't for YouTube. So you got to take the good with the bad. But yeah, it's weird, dude. There's some weird shit going on with YouTube. That is for sure. Astro Pendle says, coworker asked me to cover his shift 30 minutes before his shift. Ignored the call and hopped on here instead. Take my money, my man Astro. Yeah. Look, can we get some hearts in the chat for Astro Pendle? Because here's the thing, man. For real. Get some Nerdvenger love in the chat for Astro Pendle. Because here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. Fuck a job. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, we got to get people back to work. And I'm not trying to get political and all that, but let's be real. All these jobs, all these companies, they all suck. The best way you can protect yourself in the workforce of the United States of America these days is to look out for you, Nerdvenger. Look out for yourself. I can't tell you the amount of times in the workforce, even with bosses that I liked and that seemed to like me, that trying to be friendly fucked me over, that not thinking about myself fucked me over. You have no responsibility to answer that call or to try to get a shift covered or to come in early to help this corporation make more money. The workers. In fact, the next time you go into your job, Astro, I think you should literally just go right up to your boss, slap him right in the face, and just be like, look at me. Look at me. I am the boss now. Josh from the Den of Nerds said, I am the boss now. And if he's like, who the fuck is Josh from the Den? Slap him again. Give him another slap. And then set him in the corner, give him your phone so that he can watch the Den of Nerds and get up to date. And, he's got to become a Nerdvenger now as well. But you're the boss now. You're the boss now, Astro. So Chet's looking at me a little funny. Something about legal. I'm not sure what he's talking about. I'm going to ignore it. You're the boss now, okay? And I recommend that for all. Okay, it's obviously a joke, motherfuckers. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We can't employ that many people. We're not there yet as a company. Everybody relax. Keep your gerbs. Keep your gerbs. Josh took our gerbs. Yeah. Awesome, Mike. Look at this. Look at this. You love to see it. Mike says, my company takes good care of me and pays me very well to do my job. Benefits are awesome, and hot toys are expensive, boss. That's fantastic, brother. I ultimately do wish that everybody was able to have a really fulfilling job that gave not only them great pay and the ability to have fun and all that sort of stuff, but like gives you a fulfilling experience in the everyday. Because the truth is right now, and I think this is going to change a lot, but I do think that in general, you spend like a lot of your life doing your job. Something like 80% of your waking hours are done working. And like for me, that was just a thing, you know, where I was like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna be able to have my job or my work be for someone else and not be like what my dream version of that was. Now, I got very lucky. You know what I mean? I got very lucky. I'm able to do this full time. I'm able to run the Nerd Vengers, run the 2 YouTube channels, and be able to have a pretty good life. You know what I mean? And the business is booming. We're growing a lot. The numbers are great. We're very blessed. We're very, very blessed. But even before that, before it was working, this is the thing that I really think people need to sort of sink into, because for every story that of like this where I'm like, oh, I tried to do all this crazy shit and then I succeed, there's like 100 stories of people that didn't. But I will tell you this, even before any of the money came, even before any of the success came, there was still enjoyment in my day-to-day life, because yeah, I would go work at the restaurant and I would pay my dues there and I would get the money I needed to survive. But then I was putting in work, time, experience, life force into something I was passionate about. Some of you guys are out creating content, doing TikToks, doing YouTube, making content. You should treat it as work and you should love it. And even without the success on the other end, which is rare and ever fleeting, you'll still find success in the moment of your day-to-day life, because some of that 80% of your life that you're working, you're taking that back, man. You're taking it back and you're working at something you love and feel fulfilled doing. So there's gold in them hills, whether or not you actually get the success on the other end. You know what I mean? But in general, yeah, it would be great if everybody had a better job that was more fulfilling. You know what I mean? I know. Look, there's definitely ability for people to come and do some stuff with us. We're trying to figure that out. But for now, I can't promise anything. You know what I mean? We're still trying to figure out just the team and getting the team into the workflow. You know what I mean? Prince Zodiac says happiness/contentment is success. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Hashtag Josh the Grouch Discord. Oh, man. I don't know if I want to see it. Don't forget to live during the routine of life. Indeed, Troy. Indeed. Josh, you better run. Elisa's on her way. I know, right? Let's see here. When I get fired for slapping my boss, can I be the official Den of Nerds gamer streamer? We might be able to figure something like that, Astro. You know, hey, look, as long as you record both slaps, you know, if you get them both on camera, and then also say this in no way was done because Josh from Den of Nerds said, as long as all that stuff's on camera, we call it evidence, you know, and it would exonerate me. If you get all that on camera, then we'll talk. I think I may have created art for whatever that digital art crypto is by accident. What? I'm into that. 5 people just slap their bosses, so they'll be expecting germs. Oh shit, we're getting some. Oh no! No! Elisa says thank you for giving me the permission I need to slap my boss. Oh shit! It's gonna get weird. We're gonna have to call the stream. It's gonna get weird. All right, ladies and gentle beings. What the fuck? We don't know. Oh, jeez. All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here. The chat's getting too wild. I can't handle it. Can't handle the truth. Thank you guys so much for hanging. We should have another evening stream for you. I don't know if it'll be right at 7. Al said he's running a little bit behind from work these days, so it might be like 7:30 or something like that. But there should be an evening stream with Al tonight with either myself or somebody else, and then they will be doing After Dark as well, okay? So that should be going down later today. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you're subscribed to the main Den of Nerds channel. A lot of our Nerdy News rundowns have been doing very well lately. I'm so grateful that we're doing well over on the main channel. Make sure you're over there if you're a Nerdvenger. We drop those around 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And again, streams on this channel are going to start happening twice a day minimum. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, probably for about an hour, hour and a half each stream, but you will be getting minimum 2 streams a day over here at the Den of Nerds Live very, very soon, so make sure you are subscribed, okay? All right, everybody, that's going to do it for me. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Did everybody leave? Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Did everybody go? I feel like for sure I'm getting slapped at some point today. And she's gonna think it's so funny, it's so cute. I'm not even gonna be able to be mad. I'm gonna be sucks. You gotta watch what you say on these streams. In all seriousness, sometimes like I get off stream and I'm like, okay, what the fuck did I just say? Like the whole hour. What did I say? Did I say anything crazy? Was it too bad? Please don't actually slap your bosses, guys. That was a joke. Just kidding around. Also, y'all are amazing, and we love you. And we'll be here. We'll be here back again, real soon. I want to remind everybody. It's all your fault, guys. I'm probably gonna get slapped today by Elisa, and it's your fault. Okay? So, just think about what you've done. And also, yes, I will. I don't support boss slapping, but also, most of these bosses need slapped. You know what I mean. All right, we'll call it there.